I've been taking you along on my journey from the world of DSLR into the realm of cinema cameras, mostly at hand of the red Komodo. But today we're going to talk about audio and timecode, something I had no idea really about a couple of months ago. But oh boy, this changed with this little device. Well, actually these little devices by Tentacle Sync. And seriously, I'm unusually excited about this seemingly mundane topic and gear, but every DP and filmmaker I showed this over the past couple of months shared that excitement, so I'm pretty sure you will dig it too.
Wow, great product. Sounds awesome.
As a run and gun shooter who often shoots as a one-man production or at best with a small crew, I have a few guiding principles when it comes to choosing my audio gear, but actually any gear for that matter. It has to be compact, reliable, and have a fast and easy workflow. And this may be true for you too if you shoot corporate work, weddings, or documentaries. When it comes to audio, you have basically three ways to go. Either you have an on-camera microphone, a wireless solution, or an audio recorder, or a combination of those. As my own camera microphone, I've been using the Rode Video Mic Plus Pro Plus, I should know by now, for years. It's a great microphone, also works actually perfectly for the red Komodo because Komodo only has a mic in and you don't want to rely on the preamps, so a powered microphone, super helpful. If I shoot talent or myself, especially when I'm outside, I'm using the Sennheiser AVX ME2. Now both of these solutions have their ups and downsides, but what they have in common is that I personally, when I use them, generally pipe it in right into the Komodo, right into the camera, so it's baked into the file. Now that's great and good when you just have one audio source, but let's say you are in a scenario where you have multiple people to record, then you would have to look into separate external audio recorders. I've historically not really looked into it and never gotten down the rabbit hole because these devices, like if you need to set them up individually and then also the workflow in post seem to be so cumbersome and not really worth it. But that changed with the TrackE. Now to give you a first taste what you can do with the TrackE audio recorders and SyncE timecode generators, let me share with you some unseen, leaked footage from a documentary about influencers in the wild who share their most sacred tricks of the trade.
Oh, if I control the weather.
Found another influencer who's doing actually live stories right now on Instagram because that's great to basically tease out the content, what's coming.
Spread them like that. Oh yeah. Okay.
You guys are actually using one of our favorite cameras. It's I like to call it the red Komodo.
Right, because like people order them, but they don't get them, right?
It's just because the demand's so high. You can't make them that quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to settle for this.
What are you shooting on?
It's a little Lumix.
There's no such thing as trespassing when you're an influencer. It's just content capture. That's the saying. You do it for the gram. As you can see back here, they're doing it for the gram.
Perfect. Yeah, point to it. Poke it a little bit.
It's all about size. If you can't be the best, you gotta look the best. So the bigger the rig, the better the size, you know? The better the cameraman you are. That's what they say. Hey! Sometimes actually, it's cool to trespass. So you gotta get the shots, like you just cut the fence or something, you're like sneaking through, you know, like get a shot like that maybe. If you wanna get the real low track shot, you gotta get right in here and just kinda come through. Oh, barbed wire, I'm breaking it open.
Oh, we gotta move out of the shot. Move out of the shot. Yeah, sorry. It's gotta look void. It's like gotta look like as no one else was there.
Guys, I've been up here for hours.
When you shoot anamorphic, it's also very important that you have a flashlight. How would you hashtag this?
Hashtag flare.
He's looking kind of upset. I don't know if he got the shot or not. You might have missed it. You know, we only usually.
I got it! I got it!
And he is successfully contented.
Gotta post it right away. I gotta post it right away.
Can't believe he's already heading
Where's
home
my laptop?
to edit. You always want to remind people to like and subscribe. So
also check out Alex's Instagram and Dylan's Instagram and website dylanschneider.com, right?
We're doing big things.
So as you've seen, we shot this with 3 different cameras, 3 audio recorders, and it all synced up at the click of a button in post. Just like that. Now before we talk about the Tentacle Sync gear and how it changed my video production workflow and how you can win 2 trackies and a syncee, let's do a little crash course on timecode, because like I said, I have not really dabbled into this world up until I got these devices, so it might be useful for you too. Get everyone up to speed. So as you might have guessed it by now, timecode is used to synchronize multiple devices and media, both audio and video, but it's doing it on a metadata level. The timecode counter comes in this format: hours, minutes, seconds, frames, and allows you to be incredibly precise when linking up, syncing multiple devices. Now to bring all your cameras and recorders to the very same timecode, you need some sort of device that communicates that timecode to them, like an external timecode generator like the SyncE by Tentacle Sync. Now, Tentacle Sync came about after a successful crowdfunding campaign in 2015 and really became a disruptor in the timecode generator market with their Tentacle device. The cool thing, in my opinion, is like people call it a boutique manufacturer. It's just 11 people. It's all designed and made in Germany. Now, I've been using their gear for the past 2 months on some multi-cam, multi-audio recorder projects, and I have to say, like, their gear really stands out by its simplicity, reliability, and also its compact size. You control all the devices through an app that just simply works, but we will talk about this in a second. Let's talk about the SyncE first. So the SyncE is this timecode generator. It's, as you can see, super small. It just weighs 30 grams and it all syncs. This whole shebang syncs via Bluetooth LE, and you just hold it close to your phone and immediately the app recognizes it, phone recognizes it, and it's synced. Period. Simple as that. It's a timecode in and out, meaning it can act as a master clock, but also you can jam sync it from your A camera. For example, if I drop in here the EVA1, it can provide me with the timecode. This one receives it, communicates it via the app through the phone, and then if I have another SyncE device here, it tells my Komodo what timecode is coming from that EVA1, and then we're all on the same timecode. So how do you jam a device? Well, you turn on your SyncE. It has a little light here, it tells you that it's on. It comes with Velcro. I put it usually on my batteries, then I plug it in. Then you just plug in the cable that connects it to your camera, and you need maybe different cables for different cameras. For the Komodo, I'm using the Thomson visual connector here that plugs it in right into the 9-pin LEMO external port. I'll leave the link in the description below. And then you just sync it all up in the app, and you're good to go. Since I only have one cable from the SyncE to the Komodo 9-pin, you can actually use and jam the device just like that. And so I give it over here to Dylan. He just plugs it in. My timecode, as you can see here, is still running.
I'm jammed.
And now he's jammed. Easy as that. Now, if your camera doesn't have a dedicated timecode port, which most DSLRs and mirrorless cameras don't have, you can still use these devices and pump in timecode into your smaller camera. And this is simply done through a 3.5mm cable that goes into your mic in of your camera, and then this device sends basically the timecode as an audio signal that then can be interpreted by the software later on when you import it into your files, and I will go through that process in a minute. Now, with a SyncE plugged into your microphone port, your camera may not be able to record any audio anymore, but the SyncE is the only device, the only timecode generator that has actually a built-in microphone and basically lets you record both the timecode audio as well as the scratch audio that this microphone is picking up.
What's in the box?
Obviously the device, 3.5mm cable, locking clamps, so you can lock in the cable here, so you can always be sure that it doesn't unplug while you're recording. It also comes with these different colored ribbons. I have orange on here. You see here also this bluish, so that you can differentiate the devices. I already mentioned the Velcro is basically the way to go. You just plug the negative one here on your battery, on multiple batteries, and then it's safely and secured. And the battery life is an incredible 35 hours, so we really don't have to worry about it because it's using Bluetooth LE, low energy, and you can charge it right here through that USB-C port. Super simple device. Alright, let's talk about the TrackE audio recorder, and like the SyncE, it comes in a very minimal design, which I love. There's not a lot of fuzz around it. It has one switch. Well, you can pull it down to turn it on, and then you just flick it up if you want to record it. You can see it has 5 LEDs that are used as a meter as well. Obviously not super precise, but frankly this monitoring is not necessary with this device because of one killer feature. What is he talking about? Who knows? So 32-bit floating points, or 32-bit float, how you would just casually say it, is a newish audio format that is becoming more and more prevalent, and you can think of it in simple terms basically as raw audio. It just gives you way more latitude. If you're used to shooting raw in your video files, you know that you can change the ISO, white balance and everything. Similarly here with 32-bit floating points, has 8 bits more of data in the volume, so it gives you way more headspace. So let's say you have a talent who just casually talks and then just erupts in shouting.
Yeah, no peeking. I can scream as loud as I want!
You can just easily pull it down then in post. This audio format works natively in Final Cut Pro. In Premiere Pro you will have to run it through Audition first and export it, which is a little bit of a downside, but the only other downside I see is that the file sizes are 50% bigger, larger roughly, than a standard 24-bit audio file, WAV file. But frankly, if you record red code raw, audio files are just ridiculously small.
What's in the fucking box?
Well, obviously the device, and SD card is already in the device. It's a 16GB SanDisk micro SD card. Possibly never really need to take it out because you can download your files easily through that USB port unless you want to upgrade in size. It comes actually with a pretty decent lavalier mic with a little clip and a windjammer, but you can obviously use any of your existing lav mics that have a 3.5mm microphone jack, and this is a little bit of a soundbite. I've been using these microphones for my past couple of YouTube videos, and you can check out the creative lighting with a projector. I will link it up here. This was fully recorded using the Tentacle Sync devices as well as to sync all our cameras, so really cool. The battery life is rated at around 10 hours, and we definitely used them for up to 10 hours, and it went down to 1 bar, so I have not fully stress tested it, but it lasted for 10 hours for sure. And last but not least, it has plug-in power, so microphones like the DAD, VMic, D3 Pro work with it. So the question now becomes, how can you win 2 of those? Alright, let's talk about the giveaway. I don't know why I'm so excited about it, because you can win 2 TrackEs and a SyncE, and the TrackE in fact has been such a hot item. It's been sold out for quite a while, so 2 of those go to the winner straight away when they become available. But let's talk about how you can just easy peasy take part in this giveaway. First, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hope you already did. Ring that notification bell. Second, follow Tentacle Sync and me on Instagram. And then third, there's a very, very short form in the description below. It's a Google form, just fill it out, and that basically submits your entry. And I will announce the winner, who will be selected at random in March on this channel, as well as via DM on Instagram. So I'm super, super stoked to get these devices to you. Alright, question. Since more and more filmmaking and photography gear comes with apps, how often do you sit there just waiting for the app to boot up, going through a bunch of random menus, and then just wait for ages until the gear is actually connected to your apps? Well, it frustrates me for sure, and the more delightful it is when an app and a piece of gear actually comes around that just works super fast and flawlessly, and that's definitely the case with the Tentacle Sync setup app and all the devices they come in with. Let's talk about that. So this is how easy and fast the devices sync up. I'm turning on the SyncE now. You see it when it's blinking, it's basically transmitting. Alright, and boom, synced already there. Then you just turn on the TrackE, and boom, already connected. Quick fun fact, when you first time connect your Tentacle Sync gear to the app, it comes with random names assigned to your device, like Margaret, Doris, or something like that. So it was so awkward and so weird to me that I actually checked with them, and apparently when they go through their final quality control, they connect them to their systems, and the system is basically assigning a random name from the US Department of Immigration, like some data bank. In case you wonder why your device is named Justin or so, now you have your answer. And then once you have all your devices connected, you just hit sync, and then it allows you to choose basically your frame rate. You pick your frame rate, a starting time. You can customize it, but I usually take the time of day. So we're now at 8:15, 8:17, and you just hit start, and then one after the other, all devices are basically syncing that time code, and you're off, go to shoot. Just like that. You also see this little triangle warning here. That's when a sync is not connected to any device. So in case you not get unplugged, you will see it on the app. If it's connected, the one that's hooked up to the Komodo, no problem here. But this one here, not connected. The app also allows you to monitor your audio that is being recorded by your trackie. So you see this waveform here. Though I wish that you could actually listen to it and monitor it that way, but that would be a free check request. If that would be at all possible. I mean, it's Bluetooth, right? So it should be in a certain way. But you can also monitor your audio just by plugging in a headphone in this little headphone jack here. Though in the US version, the headphone cuts off once you hit record. That's due to a patent. But I mean, honestly, like, I check the audio once when I set it up, and then afterwards I let it go, because thanks to 32-bit float, you don't worry that much about levels anyways. The lazy man's way. Since the trackie is a super simple device, all the settings you can change actually within the app. You obviously can choose between the 24-bit as well as the 32-bit float. Super simple. The LED brightness can be changed. You can turn on and off the LEDs while recording in case that is a problem for you. And if you record in 24-bit, you can also set the gain as well as the low cut filter can be turned on and off. Obviously the gain doesn't matter in the context of 32-bit float, because it's like, think of white balance. It doesn't matter at all. And then if I'm ready to shoot, I can just hit that record button. If I would have Patrick and Rob connected too, it could record all three trackie devices at one press of a button. So super easy and fast. What's a really cool feature with the trackie and the app is if you're not sure which talent is wearing which microphone, you just go with your phone close by to the app, and there you see like this orange bar popping up, and then you can identify which trackie is basically showing up here. Super easy. And then there's also the recorder app, which is only for iOS only, but it is basically an audio recorder of your phone. You can plug in a microphone obviously as well, but it basically also attaches the metadata of the timecode to that audio recording, so you can use your phone to record audio while being synced to your cameras. Kind of cool, but let's jump into the post workflow on the computer. So in the Tentacle Sync studio is where the real magic happens, and this is where all the recorded clips that have the timecode attached to them, either in the metadata or in the audio track, come together and can be synced. And the license for this program comes with every device, and it's super easy to pull off. You just basically drag and drop the files that you recorded into just the window here. This is like all our Komodo clip from earlier from the documentary. You just drop it in, it analyzes the media. It's actually super fast for like considering that it's R3Ds. Can also support QuickTime, MP4s, BWFs, Waves, MXF, Cinema DNG, and AVCHD. So loads of formats supported. Super easy to just like drop and drag it in, and it does its magic. Now I stored long enough so I can just add the trackie audio clips from our 3 microphones that we had here. And again, like this is even faster, smaller file sizes obviously. Now recognize all the files. You see here that it can recognize the file timecode for our red clips as well as for the audio clips. We don't have a timecode here through the audio, but trust me, it works as simple as it does here with the metadata. And then you just click here on sync map, and booyah, kaboom, it's basically syncing all your clips here together. See, we just had the audio, basically the audio recorders rolling for the entire 2 hours or so, however long we filmed, and all the video clips are assigned to it. Simple, right? And now from here we just export an XML file. I'm actually editing in Final Cut Pro, so I just click here on XML, Final Cut Pro 10, 4.x, include the sync clips. It just opens it up right away. If I click save, it's exporting. As you can see, it's super fast and easy as that. All the clips are in, and it created a multicam track, As you can see here, you have all the footage. We shot an anamorphic, so it's not de-stretched yet. You see all the clips and can flick between the different cameras and the different audio tracks here. So this super fast syncing in post is really why these little devices now change the way I'm filming, because it allows me to record audio from multiple sources and link up multiple cameras without any concerns to fiddle around after the fact in post. So if you are in a scenario where you have multiple audio devices or multiple cameras, if you shoot from different angles or so, it doesn't matter if it's a cinema camera or a DSLR or mirrorless camera, these kind of devices really can change the way you edit and produce your videos after the fact. I think it's way faster. Going forward, I will likely use the trackies in conjunction with my Rode Video Mic Plus Pro on camera and have a really compact audio solution.
Alright, this wraps up the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell and check out the other videos. Also, a big thank you to Dylan and also Alex, who is still contenting over there, for joining this fun party. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Have a good morning, have a good night, whenever and wherever you are around this beautiful planet. Bye bye. And that's a wrap. That's a wrap. High five. Oh. High five. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the SyncE audio recorder, like the TrackE.
Dylan Schneider. How do you pronounce your name in American English?
Dylan Schneider.
Okay, Schneider. Okay.